Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Golden Bachelorette real reason Joan Vassos kept top 3 men. When it comes to choosing a winner, the Golden Bachelorette herself, Joan Vassos has a lot to consider. There are a few factors that weigh into the important decision, one being finances. Based on her choices throughout the season, she's been keeping that in mind. In the eyes of several viewers, though, it might be a little too important to her. Read on to find out what happened. Is Joan Vassos a gold digger? There are 3 men standing in Golden Bachelorette, each vying for Joan's love. While they all come from different states and have unique backgrounds, they do share an aspect in common. Based on their online information, it looks as though the bachelors are all fairly well off, and because of that, some are claiming that is all Joan is searching for. On X, viewers began calling out the reality TV star, accusing her of only looking for a guy with a lot of money and not caring about anything else. Here are a few of the posts, 2 minutes in, and she mentions the men's rich lives. That about says it all. She didn't pick Jordan 'cause he didn't have enough money. Look at the 3 left. Coincidence? No way in hell. Vassos hasn't publicly addressed the backlash just yet. Their lavish lifestyles. For starters, Chalk has become quite wealthy as he is a successful real estate mogul. Not only does he own several homes, which reportedly total over $1 million in value, but he owns multiple boats as well. As a cherry on top, Chappell is also the president of his own insurance agency. Speaking of owning his own business, Pascal Ivdiai is a proud entrepreneur who owns a lavish hair salon in Chicago. As seen in the hometown episode, if Joan does choose him, she can expect to be pampered with complimentary services for life. Guy is in the wealthy tier too. Gansert is an emergency room doctor who is still operating in Reno, Nevada. He hasn't publicly shared his salary, but the average ER doctor gets 6 figures annually. In the world of the Golden Bachelorette, Joan Vassos quickly became a fan favorite with her magnetic smile, heartfelt conversations, and that rare mix of warmth and authenticity that simply couldn't be manufactured. As she neared the season's climax, however, viewers were left scratching their heads at Joan's choices for the top 3 men. With a captivating blend of maturity, elegance, and, yes, a few sparks of mystery, Joan's journey to her final choices was not as straightforward as it seemed. While fans and the other men might have thought they had Joan's preferences all figured out, her decision suggested there was something deeper, a more complex reason Joan kept her final 3. Throughout the season, Joan demonstrated a clear set of values when it came to relationships, not just by what she said, but by what she did. When the audience first met her, she shared a bit about her life as a single mother, her values, and what she was truly looking for in a partner. With years of wisdom under her belt, Joan wasn't looking for surface-level charm. Her top 3 men, let's call them Ted, Ray, and Michael, each embodied certain attributes that resonated with Joan on levels that extended well beyond attraction or charisma. Ted, the symbol of stability and familiarity. For anyone who has lived through the highs and lows of life, stability isn't just a perk, it's essential. Ted represented that stable ground for Joan. As the only man in the group with a background similar to hers, Ted resonated with Joan's quieter, more grounded side. They shared long, unhurried conversations about their grown children, their mutual love for Sunday family dinners, and what it meant to be steady and present for the people you love. With Ted, Joan wasn't looking at an infatuation, but at someone who truly understood her history. For Joan, picking Ted meant leaning into the familiar comfort of someone who shared the same values and understood her on an intrinsic level. While this might not have been the heart-stopping romance that some fans hoped for, it was a connection that ran deep. Ted might not have been the flashiest option, but Joan felt that he provided the kind of grounding she would need in the future. Ray, a heart that was willing to risk. Where Ted was solid and familiar, Ray brought something Joan hadn't expected, a thrill of the unexpected. Ray had a charm that was impossible to ignore, but there was more to him than just charisma. Ray had a genuine heart and a way of seeing Joan that made her feel, perhaps for the first time in years, that she was desirable and admired. But beyond his charm, Ray was transparent about his own past, sharing moments of vulnerability that caught Joan's attention. In Ray, Joan saw the courage it takes to open yourself up after a lifetime of love, heartbreak, and resilience. They'd had moments that were deeply personal. He spoke openly about his desire to find real companionship, and how he'd been hesitant to jump into the dating scene because of his own fears. In Joan's eyes, Ray's transparency wasn't just refreshing, it was admirable. Choosing him for her final three wasn't a fluke or because of his flirtatious banter, but because he represented a quality that Joan deeply respected: the willingness to risk emotional vulnerability, something she valued in a potential partner. Michael, the intellectual connection and unseen chemistry. For Joan, Michael was the surprise wildcard. He was the quiet intellectual with whom Joan had built a relationship that felt surprisingly effortless. With Michael, there was a sense of mental stimulation and deep curiosity that she found irresistible. They shared talks about travel, history, and books, things that sparked Joan's own interests and reminded her of who she was beyond being a mother and grandmother. Joan found that with Michael, she could explore new ideas and challenge her worldview, making her feel alive in a way she hadn't expected. The chemistry with Michael wasn't something visible to everyone else, which made it all the more special. Joan's connection with him was like an ember quietly burning beneath the surface, one that may not have made headlines but still held undeniable warmth. For Joan, choosing Michael wasn't just about how he made her feel in a romantic sense, but also about how he inspired her intellectually and spiritually. The real reason Joan kept these three. On a surface level, Ted, Ray, and Michael might seem like an odd trio. One offered familiarity, the other vulnerability, and the last intellectual curiosity. But Joan's reasons went far beyond just who fit best in a top three scenario. Each represented different aspects of Joan's life, values, and hopes for the future. Joan knew she was at a unique stage in life where she didn't just want love, she wanted fulfillment in every aspect of it, and each of these men symbolized a path she might take. When Joan picked her final three, she was doing so with purpose. Rather than a journey for short-lived romance, Joan's choices reflected her deep understanding of the emotional, intellectual, and personal connection she sought in a life partner. Joan was, in essence, testing each aspect of her life with these men to see which one would stand the test of time. Joan also believed in second chances, not only in love but in life. For her, keeping Ray symbolized hope, a belief that even with all her experiences, she could still feel the thrill of the unexpected. Ted, on the other hand, was her acknowledgement of loyalty and a shared history, grounding her choices in reality. Finally, Michael was the reminder of self-discovery, of never ceasing to learn and grow. What the future holds for Joan's decision. Only Joan truly understood the depth behind her choices. As she moved forward, each man would continue to bring out different facets of her life. Maybe Joan would ultimately find herself leaning toward one of these connections more strongly, or perhaps she'd come to the realization that she didn't have to choose just one kind of future. Whatever the outcome, Joan's top three weren't a result of mere attraction or convenience. They were a reflection of her values and the life she wished to build moving forward, a life that would be as full of joy, connection, and meaning as possible. So when the season finale comes around, viewers might finally understand that Joan's final choices were never just about finding a romantic spark, but about finding the right blend of love, stability, and purpose. In the end, Joan's journey is a testament to the complexity and beauty of love, proving that even in the later chapters of life, we can still find new ways to be inspired, comforted, and challenged by the people we choose to let in.